The rivalry between Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano reached a new level following NASCAR's trip to Sonoma Raceway, as tensions between the two veteran drivers once again became one of the most talked about stories in the garage. While Shane van Gisbergen dominated the race and captured the victory, much of the post-race conversation centered on the growing friction between Hamlin and Logano, whose competitive relationship has produced controversy and heated exchanges for years. Their latest comments have reignited debate among fans and analysts across the NASCAR world. The drama intensified after both drivers voiced strong opinions about the aggressive racing and strategic decisions that unfolded during the Sonoma weekend. Hamlin, who remains one of the leading championship contenders in 2026, continued to defend his racing style and competitive approach, while Logano expressed frustration with several aspects of modern NASCAR competition. Their contrasting viewpoints quickly fueled speculation that the rivalry could become even more personal as the season progresses. NASCAR observers were quick to point out that the relationship between Hamlin and Logano has rarely been calm. Previous confrontations between the two drivers have included heated pit road incidents, public criticism, and post-race verbal battles. Those past clashes remain fresh in the minds of fans, making every new disagreement headline news whenever the pair find themselves competing near each other on track. Several NASCAR legends and veteran analysts have also weighed in on the situation, arguing that rivalries like Hamlin versus Logano are part of what makes stock car racing so compelling. However, some former drivers have warned that emotions can easily spill over during a championship battle, especially when playoff positions and race victories are at stake. Their comments have added even more attention to a feud that was already generating significant discussion throughout the sport. Fans have played a major role in amplifying the story. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions following Sonoma, with supporters of both drivers fiercely defending their favorite competitor. Some fans praised Hamlin's aggressive mentality and willingness to speak his mind, while others backed Logano's criticism and viewed his comments as a reflection of growing concerns within the garage. The debate quickly became one of the biggest NASCAR topics of the week. As NASCAR prepares for the next race on the schedule, all eyes will remain on Hamlin and Logano. With both drivers still chasing crucial points and momentum in the championship fight, the possibility of another on-track confrontation cannot be ruled out. If Sonoma was any indication, the war of words between two of NASCAR's biggest stars is far from over, and the rivalry may continue to shape some of the season's most dramatic moments. Tensions boiled over in the NASCAR garage following the Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway, as several drivers exchanged sharp comments after an intense afternoon of road course racing. While Shane van Gisbergen ultimately celebrated a dominant victory, much of the post-race discussion quickly shifted toward heated reactions from drivers frustrated by aggressive racing, strategy disputes, and hard-fought battles throughout the field. The emotional atmosphere reflected the growing pressure as the 2026 season enters a crucial stage. One of the biggest talking points emerged from several midfield and playoff contending teams that felt valuable positions were lost because of aggressive on-track maneuvers during the closing laps. Drivers who spent much of the race fighting for top 10 finishes expressed frustration over contact and defensive driving tactics that became increasingly common as the battle for points intensified. Sonoma's narrow corners and heavy braking zones once again proved to be a recipe for confrontation. The spotlight also fell on veteran stars Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, two drivers whose competitive history has frequently produced verbal exchanges. Although neither driver was in contention for the victory at the finish, their post-race remarks added fuel to ongoing discussions about respect, racecraft, and the aggressive style that has become increasingly common in modern NASCAR competition. Fans immediately debated the comments across social media, turning the rivalry into one of the most discussed subjects following the race weekend. Meanwhile, several younger drivers defended the aggressive racing scene at Sonoma, arguing that every position matters as the playoff battle tightens. Some competitors suggested that hard racing is simply part of NASCAR's current era, especially on technical road courses where overtaking opportunities are limited. Their comments created a clear divide between drivers calling for greater patience and those insisting that aggressive moves are necessary to remain competitive. NASCAR legends and television analysts were quick to weigh in on the situation. Many pointed out that heated post-race exchanges are nothing new in stock car racing and often emerge when championship pressure increases. However, several observers noted that the frequency of public disagreements appears to be rising as social media and modern broadcasting place every comment under a national spotlight almost instantly. As the series now prepares for its next stop at Chicagoland Speedway, the lingering war of words from Sonoma is expected to remain a major storyline. With Denny Hamlin taking over the championship lead and numerous contenders locked in a tight battle for playoff positioning, emotions are likely to stay high. If the intensity displayed at Sonoma is any indication, NASCAR fans could witness even more dramatic confrontations both on and off the track in the weeks ahead. The long-running rivalry between Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano has once again become one of NASCAR's hottest storylines, drawing renewed attention from fans, analysts, and several legends of the sport. As the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series heads deeper into the summer schedule, every on-track battle between the two veterans is being closely watched, with many observers noting that the competitive tension between them remains as strong as ever. Their history of disagreements and aggressive racing has transformed nearly every encounter into a major talking point across the NASCAR community. Recent races have only intensified the spotlight on the rivalry. Hamlin continues to be one of the strongest performers in the championship hunt, collecting victories and consistently challenging for wins, while Logano has been fighting to regain momentum and prove that Team Penske remains a title contender. The contrasting fortunes of the two drivers have fueled debate among fans, especially whenever they find themselves racing side by side during critical moments. Several NASCAR legends and former drivers have weighed in on the situation, emphasizing that the Hamlin-Logano rivalry represents the kind of fierce competition that has always defined stock car racing. Veteran observers have pointed to the pair's long history of clashes dating back more than a decade, arguing that neither driver is willing to give an inch when victory is at stake. Their competitive personalities have repeatedly produced memorable moments that continue to resonate throughout the sport. What makes the rivalry particularly compelling is the mutual respect that exists beneath the tension. Despite numerous disagreements over the years, both drivers recognize each other's accomplishments and status as championship-caliber competitors. Even when public comments become heated, the rivalry has largely remained centered on racing rather than personal animosity, a factor that many NASCAR veterans believe adds credibility to their battles. The latest discussions surrounding Hamlin and Logano have also highlighted broader questions about NASCAR's modern racing environment. Logano has recently voiced concerns about certain aspects of competition, while Hamlin continues to share strong opinions through interviews and his popular media appearances. Their willingness to speak openly has kept both drivers at the center of NASCAR conversations far beyond race day itself. With Sonoma Raceway and several crucial races still ahead, many fans believe the rivalry could produce even more dramatic moments before the playoffs begin. Whether battling for wins, stage points, or championship position, Hamlin and Logano remain two of NASCAR's most influential figures. As scrutiny from legends, analysts, and supporters continues to grow, their ongoing feud is shaping up to be one of the defining storylines of the 2026 season.